Quick one, no laugh mic. It is Switch 2 launch day and I have my Mario Kart edition, Mario Kart World of the Nintendo Switch. So here's the plan. We're going to be spending some time with this over the weekend. Then I'm going to be putting this video out right now that you're watching to tell you guys some of my thoughts from around the 24 to 48 hours mark. I think it's a bit like a shoe. When you try it on, you know it fits, you like it, and it's going to be the same with this. We're going to try it, we'll know if it's awesome, we'll know if it's got any menial features, and I'm just so excited. I only really bought it to play Mario Kart World. So this is a big deal for me. I'd like to get Cyberpunk 2077. However, it is time now to get back to the Lady Loft and unbox it. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So all I've done is cut the top. We're going to make this nice and quick, and then we're going to set her up and talk about some impressions. Is the hype worth it? So of course I got the Mario Kart bundle, and this thing has been incredibly hyped over the last 2 months since it was announced. Box feels pretty sturdy. That's pretty typical of Nintendo. Obviously I'm going to need to get a case for this thing. There we go. She opens it the total wrong way. This is the most ungrateful unboxing ever, ungracious rather, unboxing ever. But it's going to do the trick. So we have right Joy-Con, left Joy-Con. They actually feel quite heavy. I can already feel the click on the buttons. That feels really nice. And then the Switch itself, which goes this away. Again, that feels quite heavy, quite surprising actually, how heavy that feels. But that's okay, that's okay. Nintendo boxes and Nintendo packaging always looks complicated to me. This just kind of looks crazy right now. Oh, there's actually stuff in here. So this to me looks like manuals. We'll obviously hide the we'll take the Mario Kart code out. But yeah, what you've got in here is the HDMI cable and the wrist bracelets, wrist guards if you would, for the Joy-Cons. And this is, of course, is the ultra high speed HDMI. So make sure you don't use a regular HDMI. So that's cool. I'll go ahead and put that down. And then in here, nice and straightforward, we've got the power pack. Obviously, United Kingdom. We have the charging cable. We have the Joy-Con controller holder. And of course, the dock. Let's go ahead and lob you down there. So, this dock, oh, I can already feel how much nicer it looks. Oh yeah. That is the most ungracious unboxing of a Nintendo Switch you'll ever see. Obviously I'm going to be testing this out. I'm going to try it in handheld mode first. Docked is obviously going to be on the live stream, so that's going to be exciting. It looks nice. It looks pretty nice, to be fair. Definitely feels like a kind of more quality product out of the bat, which I really like. I think the original dock is very flimsy. Let's take a look at the Joy-Cons. Obviously, double up as mouse. Will I use it as a mouse? Absolutely not. To me, that is a redundant feature. I definitely won't use it as a mouse. What about you guys? Are you interested in using the Joy-Cons as a mouse? Because it's definitely something I will not be doing. Yeah. Pretty kind of unremarkable, to be honest with you, but now we need to turn this bad boy on. Just very quickly, I put the right Joy-Con in. These clip in via oh wow, you can see how easy that is to clip. I don't know how to take them out. But they clip in super easy. Oh, that is such a relief. As he's literally talking about Joy-Cons in the background as well. Nice one, mate. Sound. Now she's all unboxed, it's time to set her up. So it does look great as it's docked here up in the Lady Loft. There was this annoying sound throughout the whole setup. But once I was over it, we continued with the data transfer. Dock looks pretty nice. Love the round edges compared to the original base model Switch, but doesn't it look nice? Even my base model Switch, you can see the size difference here. I'm not going to faff around putting dimensions on screen because I find that's just technical stuff that's out there that you can read on Wikipedia. I'm giving you a live experience, a live vlog of what this actually looks like scale to scale. This is quite annoying as well. So there's this back bit of plastic that's very flimsy that locks the cables quite tidy. It falls off quite easily. So just be mindful of that. But once it's set up, this thing does look really nice, and I do much prefer how the Joy-Cons clip in and they feel so much more solid compared to base model. But we're going to try the Joy-Cons out later in this episode, and I'm super excited to play Mario Kart World, well, now. So I am just about to go live. Obviously this video is very vloggy. I wanted to kind of do this live. This is what's going on. The only time I've turned my Switch 2 on was this morning to take this picture. So I'm about to play it for the first time. Unfortunately, I'm on an old third-party Switch controller because all of the Switch 2 Pro controllers were sold out as of today. So I have to hold off for that. Yes, I could play with the Joy-Cons, but my experience, I much prefer a controller. I grew up with a controller. Don't want to play with the Joy-Cons unless I'm traveling and I'm in desktop mode, or I just want to kind of use it as handheld. Weird, I know. So, but what I have felt in regards to the Joy-Cons, you know, just kind of setting up, oh my God, they feel so ergonomic. It feels great, and they're so much easier to detach. So I'm going to check in with you guys after the stream. I'm going to let you know what I think about Mario Kart World and, of course, the Switch 2. But check it out. This is the setup we've got. And if you're not following on Kick, what are you waiting for? So we got the Switch 2 repping right here. Stream set up there. And, of course, we got the 120Hz BenQ monitor with good old Mario Kart World. Boy, does it look fresh and crispy. Looks great in OBS as well. We're about to go live, like I say. So fingers crossed this is a fantastic 2 hours. I'm going to check in with you guys afterwards. So, yes, we've had our first live stream of Super Mario Kart. What? It's not the Super Nintendo. Mario Kart World. It is a good game. I really am enjoying it. It doesn't, other than the kind of like, there's the World Tour, which I do prefer better than the Grand Prix. So the World Tour is like, this is like a linear race. Fucking microphone. And you just kind of have to, you have to place 20th in the first kind of lap. And then it gets tighter and tighter. So then you've got to place like 12th, then you've got to place 8th, then you've got to place 4th, and you've got to aim for first. So the World Tour does add that extra little bit of dynamism to the Mario Kart experience, which is really nice. I had a quick go on the online stuff as well. It was, of course, fast, frantic, and furious as ever. But it's not massively different to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe in terms of graphics. It is the same formula, again, minus the World Tour. And I think the ethos for me is, as I'm spending time with the Switch 2 this weekend, it is really about concluding, which we'll do at the end of the video, as to is it really worth upgrading to a Switch 2 from your base model or your OLED? So we'll continue to go with it. Of course, we're streaming tomorrow. You saw earlier that I did get Cyberpunk 2077, which is getting really positive feedback in terms of the Switch 2, running, stability, etc. So that's really nice to see. I'm yet to play it. I'd like to focus my attention on Mario Kart World for this weekend. So we will continue. As it stands, I'm going to give you like a little mid kind of video. £430 it cost me for the Switch. $74.99 for a Switch 2 Pro controller. Is it worth it so far? No, it's not. I'm just going to say it. If you've got a base Switch, which I have here as well, and you've got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you're going to get just as much fun on that. It doesn't offer much more. So that's my that's kind of like my mid video thoughts. A lot of you guys in the stream were like, ambivalent, do I, don't I? I'm thinking about it, I'm waiting for a price drop, yada, yada, yada. Everybody's kind of got mixed views. But is it worth it? If you've got the disposable income, spend it. If you haven't, then I wouldn't bother as it stands. But of course, I got a whole weekend with this. I'm going to try it in desktop mode. I'm going to go to like lay in bed with this thing and play it as well, just to keep getting a little bit more usability out of it. So it's going to be interesting to see what I think at the end of the video. So we'll leave it there for now, and we'll continue with the next chapter of this episode. Subscribe. I need a few seconds of your time to tell you about channel memberships. If you guys want to become a channel member, click join from the main page or the second link in the description. There are 3 tiers, all with different perks for you if you want to become a team member. Thanks for your time. Let's continue with the video. So let's give it a go in terms of the kind of Joy-Con action here on day 2. Not a huge fan of playing with the Joy-Cons. I've always found them to be just really fiddly and piddly and, you know, technical terms there, but I think you know what I mean. And it's fair to say that using the Joy-Cons, the pair, rather than just the one, is very, very fiddly. Here I am post-shower with no makeup on. Go Beetlejuice Gem. But they are fiddly, and it's definitely not my preferred way to play on the Switch 2. I much prefer the controller, so I actually won't be using the Joy-Cons or playing much like this with them at all. Now, Cyberpunk 2077, this obviously comes with all the DLC. It looks really, really nice. I was pleasantly surprised with how this just looks here in the kind of desktop mode, tabletop mode. So there's a potential for me to actually stream a bit of this, again, stream on Kick, and I fell in love with this game as soon as it had been patched and playable, because I started playing this on base PS4 when it came out and it was absolutely shocking, but then it became a pleasant experience. About to go live for the second time on the Switch 2 and Mario Kart World. So there's a few more things I want to try tonight. Last night we did online, we tried the tour. The World Tour is excellent. What a welcome addition. I think there's a ways to go yet, but yeah, I mean, it's just nice to spend extra time with this console, man. Again, at the minute I'm not thinking it's worth the upgrade, but unless you will want to play Mario Kart World, it's kind of worth it. But anyway, we still got plenty of testing to be getting on with. We did some Joy-Con stuff this morning. I am so bad with Joy-Cons, it is unbelievable. I much prefer a controller. So for me, the Joy-Cons will more than likely stay docked at all times. And the Switch Pro Controller 2 is still sold out as of the 6th of June. Just checking the date there, it's sold out in Smith's. But yeah, so we're just gonna have to keep scouring for that. I really don't want to order it online. I'd really like to go to a shop and pick it up and have that physical purchasing experience with this, because I feel like we're entering a digital age where you can't even like feel the products and see the products before you buy them. We can get it online. Anyway, I digress hugely. Let's dive into more Mario Kart World. And again, guys, if you're not following me on Kick, it is linked in the description. Let's go. The Nintendo Switch 2 is not worth the upgrade unless you have the disposable income to splash out on one, if you can find one in stock, or like me, you traded. If you have things to trade for some store credit, then absolutely go for it, and you feel like you want to try it, or you definitely want it to play Super Mario Kart World, then it's worth it. But let's talk about the only game that is actually worth getting a Nintendo Switch for, should you choose to at this stage, Mario Kart World. It's good, but it doesn't feel like a huge upgrade. It feels like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe 2.0. And let's face it, Mario Kart 8 has been out, was a launch, well, not a launch title, but was a huge game on the Wii U. They even rehashed that for the Nintendo Switch. Graphically, it looks, to my naked eye, pretty much the same, even in 4K, even with your HDR turned on. I don't feel, whether it's handheld or with my 120Hz 4K gaming monitor, I can't really tell a difference. Now, of course, this is not Digital Foundry. I'm sure if you watch Digital Foundry, you can see side-by-side stuff, but this is a proper user from the emotion vlog kind of experience over the last 72 hours. And if you're like me, just a layperson enjoying games, it's just not worth it. But let's face it, visuals also don't make a game as well. The game Mario Kart World, had that not have launched, I literally would not have bothered. I would not have bothered in the slightest, but being a huge Nintendo girl, as you can see, I'm a huge Nintendo girl, love my Super Nintendo stuff. I love my NES, love a Game Boy. I really wanted to get my hands on Mario Kart World. There's definitely a lot of development there. Of course, the World Tour is incredible, but it doesn't add as much value. If you've got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which let's face it, more people have, you're going to enjoy that with your friends a lot more. Even on my base Switch, my launch day 2017 Nintendo Switch, which is upstairs, I used that to stream until like recently, and I still will. What I'm yet to do is try the likes of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom with that upgrade. Now, yes, I'm a little bit, that you do have to pay. I think it's $7.99 for that upgrade. But guess what? As it stands, I'm not going to bother because I am perfectly happy with how Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom perform on a base Switch. Now, my OLED Switch sits here and that is hooked up here. So this is a non-stream setup. And I've been playing through Tears of the Kingdom on that. I'm probably just going to carry on playing through on that because even in handheld mode on the Switch 2, it's not even OLED. And that's okay, but is it okay? This, I paid $429.99 to get this bundle. That is a lot of money for a console that, yes, it feels better quality. Yes, the Joy-Cons are more ergonomic. Yes, they feel great when they clip in and out. Yes, the dock looks nice. So these are all great things. But did we need it? Probably not. And a lot of people might disagree with that, but there might be a lot of people that agree as well. I've seen in my Discord, which has been popping off with Nintendo Switch chatter, people are really enjoying it. And don't get me wrong, I'm enjoying the Switch too. But it's not added any value. I could have continued to play my OLED or my Lite even, or even just my base model Nintendo Switch and still felt the same. And I wish the new Mario Kart game came out on base model Switch, but Nintendo knew nobody would buy a Switch 2 unless they release a big AAA first party title like this. I'd like to see more tracks. I think it's going to get stale very quickly, and admittedly, after I streamed yesterday, I was starting to get a little bit bored. I really was. Again, it just looks like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but reskinned ever so slightly with tiny little increase on the visuals. So it's fair to say that I am actually a little disappointed. I don't feel like I've wasted money because I only traded old games. I traded some 360 consoles, an old PS1 flip screen that you can attach to the PS1 kind of super slim thingamabob. That's a terrible description. But I actually just traded old stuff and just pulled bits off the shelf to get my Switch. So had I have paid like disposable cash for it, I would have been a little bit narked because that could have gone into some more Super Nintendo games on a retro game hunt, for example. So I did the old age thing of trading, and that's what I would advise you to do should you feel that you want one. In terms of the controller, I've been using a third-party controller. I think the controllers are astronomically priced. The Switch 2 Pro controller, which I will get, but $74.99. I think I'm going to hold off for a little bit because, of course, you can connect your original Switch controller to the Switch 2. So I'm probably just going to do that for now, and I'll just wait. I probably won't even bother actually. So that's my take. I am eager to find out what you guys think of your Nintendo Switch 2 experiences. Of course, if you've not come over to the Discord and you've not had that conversation with us already, you need to use this comment section as a bit of a Discord and let's hash it out, let's talk. Now, I will say this. Next month, we have the new Donkey Kong game coming, and I am excited for that. That being a new, fresh, first-party Nintendo title that's coming, I will be getting that, and it will be interesting to see what, if any, new first party Switch titles over the next 12 months begin to drop. Things like, obviously, you know, Cyberpunk, I've got that. That looked great in, you know, tabletop mode. That looked beautiful. Of course, I'm going to choose, I think I chose the Nomad. I didn't choose the Nomad, but I've never chose that before. So that's going to be a new experience. That looks amazing. That does look really, really nice. And again, there's great feedback of how Cyberpunk 2077 is performing on the Nintendo Switch 2. So that's really nice to see. CD Projekt Red, what a comeback. Terrible launch, we're digressing here, but what a comeback. But as outside of the 2 games I've got, I'm just not bothered. I'm not bothered, but we'll see what Donkey Kong can deliver. So yeah, let me know what you think, guys, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.